Hi, Facebook world. Lauren here again. I'm having some technical difficulties. My internet is a little wonky. So, take two. Let's try this again. So I'm going to wait a few minutes or for a few moments to let a few people to catch this live. This is Isabel, if you've not met her. She's going to be my assistant today. So I am so grateful to bring this training to you guys. It's really awesome, and it is going to give us some really amazing information that I think a lot of people can really relate to at this point in time. It is a 5-part series, so I'm going to start today on Monday and I'll finish on Friday. Each of them will go live at 10 a.m. and each video is going to be a different component of what anxiety is and how we get there. So as you are jumping on, if you could give me a like or let me know down in the comments where you're from, just so I can see who's joining me today. I'm going to get my computer set up as well so I can see some of these comments a little bit easier and comment back as we go along here, because I want this to be interactive. Hey, there's my other video. All right, so imperfect action here. Come on in. All right, there's the video coming in. Hanging in with me 1 more minute. Again, just good morning, Shayna. We are getting all of this tech set up and ready to go, and then I'm going to deliver you this really awesome training that I have developed for you all based off what you guys have told me you needed. Okay, it's not working. I'll just use this. All right, so, first off, I'm in Windham, Maine, and over the past 24 hours, Maine has held up to its end that you can experience basically every season in 24 hours. So we've had a sunny day, and we've had a snowy day, and we've had rain. So pretty cool. So let me know, again, as you're joining here, where you're from, that you're watching. Give me a wave, give me a like. Okay, so what is this training all about? It's about anxiety and how we get there. So maybe you saw last week when I posted just a little post trying to decide and discover who's experiencing anxiety. I know I experience anxiety, and with the change in events, it was heightened. I know for some, maybe the anxiety lessened because you don't have as many things going on. But if you're on either end of that, anxiety can cause a ton of disruptions in your life. So this training is all about eliminating that anxiety and how do you start that process. So over 50 people mentioned that they are looking to do this. So we're all in good company. We're not alone. It's not our fault. It's, Courtney, I've been a wreck too. There's so much that you can do to support yourself through this, and that's what I'm really hoping this training will do for myself and you all as well. Over 50 people, which is great. And I know there's more out there. This information is very relevant to everyone. We all experience stress. We all experience somewhere on the continuum of anxiety. It's just a response to life. And this anxiety for some of us can be crippling. Like, it totally prevents us from living a life to the fullest. And I truly believe everyone is so worthy and so deserving of living this life of peace and bliss and happiness. And it's just getting over those blocks, those challenges, the anxiety, to be able to get to that place. So if you are ready for a new normal, free of anxiety, down in the comments below, I want you to comment, "I'm ready." So I want to see some of those coming up. Maybe you just give me a like or some love if you don't want to comment. But if you're ready to learn some new ways of being, some new ways free of anxiety, you're going to want to stick to the end of this video. You're going to want to stick all the way through till Friday, because I'm going to deliver all of that to you. So why do you need to watch this? this 5-part series is going to cover the components of how we arrive to an anxious state, how we arrive to have anxious tendencies and traits. So I believe knowledge is power. So the more you understand how you've gotten to the place you're at, you will have more power to choose the actions and the simple daily practices that help you get to where you want to be. So if you want to course correct, you're going to want to watch these videos. Now, maybe you're treading the waters of anxiety, so it's pretty severe, or maybe you're just noticing that you have fears and worries that kind of stay in your head. If you're a mom, you know you have this going on at all times. I don't know what you're looking for. You have everything, my love. So, right, life throws this stuff at us. So that's why you need to watch this. We need to find a way to be the calm in the storm, right? We have no full control of everything externally from us, but we do have our ability to control the response to that. So, treading water, barely keeping your head above, or maybe you're just starting to notice some really dwelling thoughts of fear and worry. I encourage you again to stick to the end of this video and all the way through till Fridays so you can connect with others that are experiencing the same thing, right? We're not alone in this. I know we feel that way sometimes, but knowing that there's others, there is this community you can reach out to. I am always available as well. So the first topic that I want to talk about, Phoebe, totally, mom life struggle. It's such a beautiful contrast of absolute controlled chaos. I totally agree. As you can hear, she's still throwing things in the background. But how cool is it to be able to eventually get to a point where this can be happening and you don't feel all of the symptoms of anxiety, that you can just appreciate the moment for what it is in that moment without the fear and the guilt afterwards, right? Which at this point in time, a lot of us, that's not even reachable. So again, this training is going to help you learn how to do that. Today, I want to talk about fight or flight, okay? It's fight, flight, or freeze is one that I think is also something that some of us do. So this is a key component. This is the foundation to how we develop anxious tendencies, okay? Our bodies, they hold so much wisdom, and our bodies are always striving to have this homeostasis, which means a balance within our body and all of the body systems during a constantly changing environment, all right, within and without. When something threatens this balance, that is called a stressor, okay? And we have good stressors, we have bad stressors, we have stressors that are helpful, we have stressors that are not helpful. So that happens. We can't control that. That is what it is. Our response to those stressors is what is called the stress response. And the stress response is that fight or flight. Super useful. If we have a bear coming at us or we're in a life or death situation, it is so powerful. But then when those have passed, we should be able to downshift. And some of us don't do that. We always have these life and death situations coming at us from all angles, so we're always up in this fight or flight position. So it's a useful tool, but we got to learn how to harness it and use the power of that tool for our good and for our highest joy. Now, these stressors can come from our mind and our thoughts, can come from our body in the sense of replaying different events. So physical thoughts can manifest as sensations and emotions and feelings. Our own realities start to get shifted because of this. Come on in. And we perceive a threat constantly, okay? We're always prepared to fight, flight, flee, or freeze wherever we're at for our own life. This constant state of being out of balance with no rest day, we never bring it back down. And this is where we start to bring in some of those anxious traits, right? Thank you. She gave me a stone. So I mentioned our bodies have this wisdom out of your mouth. And if we listen to the wisdom, we'll be able to tell if we've activated this fight or flight, this stress response, okay? So each response to stressor and each specific stressor, we will have a different response to it, a different way to cope with it, and it's very unique to each individual and each situation that's going on. So what I would like to do next is go through a list of signs that you are in a state of a stress response. You're in that fight or flight mode. Again, it's a useful tool, and we want to know when it's happening, because if it's not for a true life or death situation, we want to be able to put a tool in to bring us down, to downshift, and bring us back down to a rest or digest, which is the opposite, so that we can create a life of a little bit more peace, a little bit more balance, which is, again, what our bodies are always trying to do, always trying to be in balance. So as I run through this list, it's only 12 signs. There's more, but these are kind of the major ones. If you hear one that you have experienced, I want you to drop a like, a love, or a comment down in below. And also maybe let me know how often you feel this sign, okay? So first sign that you've activated the fight or flight, that stress response, is a fast heart rate, or maybe you feel heart palpitations. Maybe you notice you have rapid breathing, that short, shallow breath. It's giving an oxygen to our body to be able to fight or flee, right? So tell me if you have ever felt that short, shallow, rapid breathing. Maybe you start to feel dizzy, that sense of like things are shifting internally, and that sense of feeling sick maybe comes from that. Maybe you notice that you need to go to the toilet really quickly. Again, all of this is responses to a threat, and our bodies are preparing to fight or flee. Maybe you notice the butterflies in your stomach. If you feel that, drop a like down below. Maybe you notice you're sweating. Maybe you have dry mouth. Maybe there's that tunnel vision. What happens is our vision narrows. It brings us into, this is what's going on. You need to pay attention to this. Maybe you feel the muscle tension. You feel tight. Again, our muscles are preparing for action. Maybe you notice your hearing gets really sensitive. Again, our bodies are preparing for a threat, and we have to get ready to do something. So hearing is really important to know what's coming from what angle. Or maybe you feel jittery or on edge. So again, that's just a quick list of some signs that the stress response, this fight or flight, has been activated. Again, really important if something big is going on, but I wonder how many of you feel these more often than not. That just waking up or working within your daily schedule of kids and work and family and friends and anything else that's going on, maybe you notice that you feel these signs all the time. What that's telling us is our body's out of balance, and our body is going to do something somewhere to fix that balance. And a lot of times that comes out as anxiety or some other. Again, anxiety is something that's on a spectrum. It's on a continuum of severe to not so severe. There's also different types of anxiety. So you can imagine your own life, and again, it's so unique to each individual, how you respond to all of the life events that you've had. Your body is going to figure out a way. It's really smart. It's going to figure out a way to survive. That's what it's built to do. So if we start to really listen to this body, and we listen to the sights and the sounds and all of the sensory information's coming in, we're noticing when we're activating this fight or flight. We can recognize that anxiety is not of us. It's a response to stuff that's going on, which to me is very comforting. I know when I've had anxiety before, I feel so broken. I feel like I need to be fixed. And I feel like, what is wrong with me? I'm always so out of whack. I'm always feeling so awful, so exhausted. But if you're running at fight or flight so often and at constant, and you're never getting down to this pre-arousal state, this relaxed state, you're expending so much energy. And so I know for me, I had to slow down. I needed to listen to what my body was telling me. I needed to notice the signs that were coming saying, hey, you've activated fight or flight. And I could look around and see if it truly was a life or death situation that I needed to be prepared for. So the goal is eventually to work enough tools and to reach a place where you can implement something right away once you've noticed you hit that point and get there. So this fight or flight, again, foundation, it's such a brilliant tool for our body to use, but we got to harness it for ourselves. So that's first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing I wanted to talk about today, and it's also a tool to use, it's an ability to use as guidepost as we're navigating, experiencing this anxiety, because it's very real. What we're responding to is very real to us. But it's about deciphering what is actual fact, actual happening, life or death, or if it's something perceived threat. And then also noticing like what's aligned for us, what's authentic to us, and releasing some of the other things there. So this tool that I'm about to share with you is called the Emotional Guidance Scale. It was developed by Abraham Hicks. So if you've ever heard of Abraham Hicks, give me a like. If you haven't, I encourage you to look up this Emotional Guidance Scale. If you want, I could also send you a PDF. So feel free to, in the comments below, say, I would love the PDF of the Emotional Guidance Scale or something thereof. So this Emotional Guidance Scale is a spiral up and a spiral down. On each rung of the spiral is a different emotion that you can experience. So some of us, it's terminology, it's a phrase we use, is I'm spiraling out of control or I'm spiraling down. So I love this imagery of spiraling because it shows us that we're in constant motion. We're never stuck. It's never absolute truth that you're here and you can't move from it. It's just a point in time. It's just this, moment, and you can shift it. You can change it. Our anxiety, again, is not our fault. It's a response to things that are going on. And so recognizing where our emotions are is this ability to move where we want to go. So the spiral up is this expansive. It reaches all the way up to love and joy and appreciation. Yeah, honey, come on. We'll go get Bubba in a moment. Excuse me. Come here. Come say hi. So the spiral up is where we're trying to reach, okay? Now, we're not always going to be there. I know a lot of people here like be high vibes all the time. It doesn't work like that. We're always going to ebb and flow. It's this ability to say, I'm out of high vibe, recognizing it and shifting back into it. So this tool of the Emotional Guidance Scale is just that. It's going to help us do that. Now, the spiral down goes all the way down. Honey, I'm not opening this. She wants this. Come on now. Nope, not opening it. Try to find something else to play with. In a moment, honey. So the spiral down goes all the way down to fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. Okay? Anxiety stems from fears. It stems from this sense of powerlessness, okay? Maybe there's grief that's happened and you don't know quite how to handle it. Maybe you are down into a deep depressive despair state. So those of us that experience anxiety or anxious tendencies, we're at the bottom of this spiral down. Now, the Emotional Guidance Scale that Abraham Hicks, it's 22 rungs on the spirals. Anxiety, we're down at the lowest. That's where our emotions sit. That's where our bodies are feeling it. So as you can imagine, this like bootstrap, strap your heart down. I'm going to get to love, joy, peace, appreciation, gratefulness. That's a 22-step jump. That's really hard to make. So this Emotional Guidance Scale shows us that in order to get out of the anxious tendencies, we're going to talk to them in a moment, in one moment. We just have to reach for that next best feeling, okay? So again, if you're just jumping on, I'm talking about the Emotional Guidance Scale. If you're wanting to see the visual of this, let me know down in the comments below, We'll talk to Nana in a moment. And I'll send you the PDF of it. I have it posted up. I use this often because in anxious states, hold on one moment. Honey, we'll talk to Nana in a minute. Can you look at these? Can you look at these while I do this? I'm almost done. We're almost done. What's this? So like I said, I have this posted up in my room so that I can see what's going on. I can check in with myself. I can say, hey, you know, I'm feeling frustrated right now, or I'm feeling like, you know, I'm feeling this sadness and despair. It gives me a moment to say, okay, this is where I'm at. I'm not stuck here. This is not the end. This is not an absolute truth. And I can create some space. And then I can see on this visual what the next emotion is that I can reach for. And I can figure out how I'm going to get there. Okay. So that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today. So the stress response, which is that fight or flight, knowing the signs of that when it's activated, and then checking in and seeing where you're at for where your emotions are, and understanding that anxiety comes from some very low, powerless, kind of, you know, fear-based spots in our life, things that we've experienced. We've all had trauma of some sort. We've had either little t trauma or big T trauma, right? And those weren't our fault, but our response to it is in our control and is in our power to develop tools, to develop daily practices that will help us shift out of anxious feelings when we get there. So you've made it to the end. I appreciate you all for being here. If you're catching this on the replay, let me know that you made it to the end. You will want to come back tomorrow because I'm going to be talking about the next component of what develops within our bodies and what we experience when we have anxiety. So it's the next component of that. And again, each day I'm going to build on that to how anxiety impacts our life, how it impacts our health. And then that final day is I'm gonna tell you what you can do to release this anxiety, because it's not an end all be all, and we are able to do something about it. So if you have any questions, I'll hang out here for 1 or 2 more minutes. Please pop them in the chat below and I can answer any questions that you may have. If you're interested in hearing what tomorrow's topic is, also let me know down in the comments below, and I'll make sure to tag you tomorrow when that goes live. It will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. again, and we're going to just build off of what we talked about today. So if you're here and you have questions, let me know. Maybe you can just give me a wave and some love. Yeah, mom life. Oh, this is how it goes. This is real life, man. For so long, we are told that we need to be perfect, and we need to have it all pulled together. And you know what? This is it. This is how we get through our days. We can all, you know, for 1 hour or 20 minutes, whatever it is that we do that day to like pull our anxiety in check, something's going to happen to pull us out. So release into it and enjoy the ride. All right, perfect. Phoebe, Courtney, I'll definitely tag you tomorrow. Again, I will, we'll be having some cool videos over the next 5 days. And again, on Friday, I'll be letting you know what you can do about it to eliminate the anxiety for good. Do you want to wave hi? Hi. Hi. Do you want to blow him a kiss? We can talk to Nana later. Yeah. Nana? This is not Nana, no. What do you think? Yeah. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you guys again for being here. I truly appreciate it. And just know I'm in it with you. I have anxiety as well, so we will get through this together. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you over the next week, and I love you all. Bye. You're so cute. Yeah, we'll go talk to